What's going on, awesome people? Sorry. I don't know why I'm starting with laugh. Actually, I know exactly what I'm laughing at. I was talking to some of my sisters from another mister, and then I got caught up, and now I'm like a few seconds behind schedule with regards to the IG Live. Welcome to another episode of Awesome People Instagram Live. Durud ba shoma. My name is Iman Hushman, in case you don't know me. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being awesome. Thank you for caring. Thank you so much for truly just giving a damn. I'm definitely a little bit annoyed, and I have a rant to give, but my guest tonight is a dear longtime friend, and I don't want to take anything away from the attention of putting a focus on one of the most outspoken freedom fighters that we've had. And I'm so great to have him as a friend of almost, I think, 20 more years. He will know better, but it's definitely more than 20 years. I haven't seen him in so long, but it's been pretty amazing seeing what he's done. You know, there's just something different about like seeing people fight for a free Iran the way that you do. Does that make sense? Meaning, like, there are people out there that you're like, fuck yes, man. That person is like, they feel the way that you freaking feel, and they're able to like give it 120%, not give a damn about what other people think, and they just want to continue to fight. And then you just have fake ass people who were just doing it for likes, just doing it for clout, doing it for anything but the real deal. Do you know why I know that? Because they all went back to their little life. So now you know exactly who the real people are. And my guest tonight is definitely one of those people. So I'm going to give a little background, but I want you to know that like the people that continue to fight right now on month 10, these are the people that in some shape or form, I hope that you like support. Like really support. Show them love, check in on them, see how you can help them and the group that they're working. You know, like it's very clear right now who are the people and the groups that are truly actively fighting for a free and secular Iran. So don't give me this bullshit about, oh, you're a business, we don't know what you're doing. Actually, you know what? I told you guys I was gonna wait for the rant. I'm not gonna do this to Kamiar. Kamiar, I'm sorry, man, I love you, but you should press the request to join button real quick. Damn, but I cannot wait to freaking just share my piece. Whew. Give me like 25 minutes and I'm going to be on this shit. All right. Anyways, until Kamiar, by the way, if you guys can message Kamiar and give him a heads up, I don't see him requesting a join. In the meantime, I'm going to give a nice little bio for him. So Kamiar, there he is. He was born in 1976, and by the age of 3, the Iranian Republic had come to power, only to be followed by a war in 1980. Kamiar's father spent a night in Evin prison, and his grandfather and uncles were all arrested. One of his uncles were physically and psychologically tortured. Kamiar left Iran in winter of '83 through Germany, that's where I was born and raised, so he truly is my brother, as a political refugee. His brother was born in West Germany, and he was only 1 month old when Kamiar applied for asylum. Kamiar grew up in the DC area, where from a very young age he would attend protests with his mom. He and his mom moved to California in 2012 after his father passed, to be closer to his brother and family. And I really do remember all those years when he was in DC. He was truly like an uber Iran patriot. You know, even myself, I thought that I was very Iranian. I loved it, but I would look at him and I'm like, damn, that dude is like super Iranian, even though he was like very like Americanized. You'll see when you get to know him in a little bit. And that just goes to show that even back then, I knew this guy, like, he was bleeding everything Iran. Like, he was putting me to shame. I was like, man, this dude is, like, all about Iran Damashqa. And, you know, he unfortunately, ever since he went to California, I haven't really seen him much. But we've always stayed in touch with social media, showing love. And then when the revolution happened, I felt like we forged even, like, a stronger relationship, you know? And I just know how much his heart aches for Iran. And I don't think that there's a single weekend that this man has missed the Orange County protests. I've seen videos where there might be only like 20, 30 people there, but he's there. He's raising his flag. He's doing his IG lives. He's doing his rants on social media. And I'm just very grateful that somebody like him, like a true soldier, man, has joined as an ambassador for Azadi Festival, because right now, man, I don't have time for bullshitters. I don't have time for bullshitters, and our ambassadors don't have time for bullshitters. And unfortunately, there's still some bullshitters that are straggling around us. And I told you all I'm going to do the rant later, and I keep on going right to my rant. Kamiar, come and save me, man. I need your love. I need your... Get this rant out of my system. Damn, Gina. Please help me welcome Kamiar from California. Kamiar probably has no idea what the hell I'm talking about. Just man.
What's up, man? Good to see you. I was enjoying the rant. I'm not gonna lie, because I mean, you know, I love to rant.
I feel like this is gonna be rant 2.0. We're just gonna come together and just be rant squared, man. Maybe that's what it is. I just felt that the king of rant is here, so I was like, I gotta step up my game. So you know, here we are.
I mean, I try not to rant, to be honest. It just turns into that, and it's funny. I guess some guys are like, "Why you curse so much?" I'm like, I really don't try to. It just comes out that way. Like, I can't help it. For Shadan is like part of me. Whether it's in Farsi or in English, like I gotta drop the F-bombs. I can't. I try. But
yeah, but when the passion is like burning inside, the last thing you care about is being politically correct and not cursing.
absolutely.
So yeah, and it also helps to drive home a point sometimes. You know what the fuck I'm talking about?
Oh, absolutely. Like, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I saw a bunch of people, you know, put in the whole, like, oh my God, why are people, like, yelling at the Mujahideen? Like, why are they shoving them out? I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Why are you being woke right now about, and of all groups, Mujahideen? Like, the group that went to war against our own people, you want to care about their feelings and be woke? Like, there's no time for wokeness in a revolution. It's one goal only, get rid of this regime, and then we can worry about all the rest of it. That's how I feel. Like, don't come at me. I don't care about feelings right now. It's all about getting rid of this regime.
I already feel better because I feel like I'm aligned with somebody. So my blood pressure has already come down. Before I forget, are you connected on Wi-Fi? I don't know if it's just me or not, but I feel like I want to make sure, are you connected to Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I am connected to Wi-Fi.
Okay, maybe it's just me. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear your rants perfectly clear, you know?
I am on Wi-Fi, but the Wi-Fi here is not the best in my apartment because they built it in the 80s with concrete in California. So, you know, it's earthquake safe.
Well, yeah,
falling on top of me and killing me.
Life is about give and take, you know, protection through earthquake, sacrifice a little bit of internet speed. But anyways, come here. I gave a little bit of background about you. I mentioned how we go back more than 20 years now, which is insane.
Right.
It's great. My first set of DJ equipment was bought from this man at Guitar Center or Venomous Music. So
yeah. Well, it was in Guitar Center. It was just turning into Guitar Center. And then like you see right there, there's my setup still. I still have it, even though I don't work. I refuse to get rid of it. I've even updated it. But yeah, that was God. I want to say like 25 years ago, maybe 20.
I think so, man. Yeah, because I started when I was 16, 17 with the DJ thing. And yeah, so it's been fudge. Holy crap. It is, 25 years. Let's stop counting. After a certain period, we got to stop counting.
You're right. I mean, this is how I know how long I've been out of Iran. I go by my brother's birthdays.
So you mentioned Iran. Let's kind of dive right into it. Where did this this fuel and this anger to do whatever it takes to bring down the Islamic Republic begin? Take us back to young Kamiar and where it all started.
Mama Dukes. Mom would take me and my brother to what was the embassy on Wisconsin Avenue, not even the one that's there now, the one on Wisconsin Avenue. And we would protest there with Mom. To all the protests that were in DC, Mom would take us because Mom, she honestly left Iran because of what happened with Dad and like her father, or else she would have never left. We would have never come out of Iran. It was all the passion comes from Mom. I was telling someone recently, I was raised in a little Iran in a house. I wasn't raised in the US. I was raised technically in Iran. Our house was Iran. Like, we weren't allowed to speak English in the house. We had to speak Farsi. There's stories my brother has where Mom like stopped the car because him and my cousin were speaking English in the car, and she told him this car doesn't move unless you speak Farsi. So all my passion comes from my mom. She's the one that instilled the passion for Iran in me, and the fight. That's where it all comes from. That this is, I say it's for Iran, but in a way it's also for her.
And is she, because I know in the bio you mentioned that you went to California. Has she been active in the revolution here with you?
I keep her page private for a reason, but she posts just as much as I do.
That's
so sometimes
amazing.
I wonder if we're like in competition with each other, because I'm like, oh, mom posted that, I didn't see it, that's a good one. So absolutely. She's also my translator for some of the stuff that I have a hard time understanding. The one thing that has come out of this is my Farsi has gotten better, especially reading comprehension. I still got to work on writing.
I can't say the same. I still turn to my mom and my girlfriend for translation. It's pretty damn embarrassing because Google Translate just doesn't do justice.
No, so I use Google Translate sometimes. I'm like, what? Like, this makes no sense. What are you trying to tell me, Google? No, so the reason my Farsi has gotten better, mom sent me to Farsi school in D.C. On Montrose Road, Islamic Education Center. Yes. I promptly got kicked out after 3rd grade.
That's awkward. That's awkward.
Yeah, especially being raised in a Shahi house and going to their school. I got in a fight with one of the guys, and the teacher was like, oh, Imam Khomeini wouldn't do this. I literally picked up a table, threw it at her head, and said, fuck you and your Khomeini. I'm a fucking Shahi. Go fuck yourself. And probably my parents got a call that I am, not haram anymore to be there. And so...
Tell me, the last 10 months, like where are you right now, like mind-wise, about the state of the revolution? Like, are you still hopeful? Are you thinking that, hey, we knew it was going to be a marathon and we're on the right pace? Or are you dejected? Are you upset? Are you angry? Like, where do you honestly feel right now?
I'm hopeful. I am hopeful. This is the most hopeful I've ever been in any of the movements that have come out of Iran. One reason is it has lasted this long. All the other movements would get crushed after about a month. This movement is now month 10. I am in contact with people inside Iran, and, I hear things where it might be a small, the civil disobedience. And we're talking, towns like Qom, Mashhad, within Tehran, where, Tehran is primarily the government. If anybody knows about Qom and Mashhad, they're very religious areas. So when you hear about civil disobedience in those areas and people actually standing up to these mullahs, it makes me very hopeful. Now, don't get me wrong. There's days I get mad, like, why isn't it over? But I do know it's a marathon. This is the first revolution where we're seeing it from the streets, really, not a government coming in like the past that has, pushed, like the Arab Spring. We all know that had backing from other countries in those countries. But ours has no backing from the U.S., the British. My latest rant was to the French President Macron, who said he doesn't believe in regime change. Really? Well, I know why he doesn't believe in regime change. He rather get our oil for dirt cheap, because the first thing that's going to happen is our oil is no longer going to be given away to these people. So they're going to hurt that way. And then I think I heard a statistic where the U.S. alone owes us $398 billion. These governments don't want change in Iran because they're going to owe us money, lots of money. And I don't know if anybody has saw when the Crown Prince was interviewed recently, and he's like, sure, you can come help, but don't expect our natural resources to be given to you as a price for the help. And I completely believe in that. For years, you have taken and taken and taken, and our people have suffered. Our people are tired of this government. They want it gone, and it's just up to us now. Here outside the diaspora, we just need to keep being their voices. Eventually, these governments will crack and will stop supporting this government. I don't think they'll help our people, but they'll stop supporting this government because what they'll want is our votes. They'll want our votes. And I can tell you this right now, Biden has lost my vote with the way he's dealing backdoor dealings with these. The one thing I did like about Trump was his Iran policy to come out of the nuclear deal, to pull out and freeze the assets again. You know, not to go on a rant, but why are we giving Iran $2.8 billion? That money's not going to help anybody. They've come out and said they're going to give it to people who are going to go on the Holy Hajj. Like, they're going to pay people to go to Mecca. But Urumiyeh or Ardabil just got hit with floods. Azerbaijan, I can't Khoi, the earthquakes. It's been 10 months. People are living in tents. But you're going to give that money for people to go to Mecca. The people that are going to Mecca can afford it, but those people in those areas are suffering. Instead of rebuilding and helping them out, you're going to give money to your cronies to go on a trip.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very, there's no doubt that the Biden administration has disappointed all Iranians. I mean, if there's any Iranians that actually think that Biden and the administration have done any favors for our people, I don't know what kind of rock they've been living under. I'm still not 100% sure what Republicans would have done, because it's easy for the Republicans to just kind of shame Democrats right now. Nobody will know. It'll be very interesting. What'd you say? What did you say?
I said absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what the Republicans would have done either. I mean, you've seen the news reports. I've seen them. They're, you know, the problem we have is we don't have a lobby group like NIAC or Mujahideen. So that's why I can't trust Republicans either, because NIAC was courting the Democrats. Mujahideen has been courting the Republicans.
That's right.
The one thing I can say is hopefully the NASA Act will get passed, will become law. That'll help sanction Iran's government and the office of the president and the supreme leader. That's a good move. We have a little NASA Act army here that comes to the protests in Orange County. They post every week on who to call, who's joined, who hasn't joined. They've been making strides, but the question is, again, will this government actually pass the NASA Act into law?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you know what the next step is? I feel like it's been pretty quiet on the NASA Act front. Like, are we waiting for something? What's the update on that?
So it got introduced on the floor, and I'm not sure what the next step is, to be honest. I'm in the chat,
but I feel like they're just kicking the can down the curb and just buying time, and you know.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I absolutely feel that way too, but you know, it's a step towards the right direction, especially because NIAC is against it. Even Mujahideen is kind of against it. So, you know, Mujahideen is trying to get their own resolution passed, but theirs is a resolution that I don't think will become law from what I've heard, but it recognizes them as recognizes Mariam Rajavi as the president of Iran. I'm like,
the leader of the outside movement. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you know, but everything's going to take time. I'm going to keep ranting. Probably go after Biden a couple of more times until we vote him out. I don't know if the next person's better.
We're going to find out soon, because I can't imagine Biden being elected again. But we'll see. You never know. This country's crazy. Let's transition to Azadi Festival. And even though unfortunately you won't be able to make it in person, you know, you decided that you want to put your name behind it and do whatever you can to make the event a success. Can I ask you, like, what stood out about it? Why did you say to yourself, okay, you know what, I actually really want to get behind this?
You, as long as I've known you, man, you've been bringing our community together and doing things for our community. And your heart's always been in it. It's honestly you. That's why I decided to do it, because I believe in you. So I know anything you do, you put everything behind it. And to get the word about what's going on, you know, we got to use every platform possible. And you have a good platform that you've had for a long time, and that's why I got behind it. Just because I believe in you, what you've been doing for all these years.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. Together, we're definitely stronger. So tell me, since you're optimistic that there is going to be a free Iran very soon, what are you looking the most forward to when you actually go to Iran that is free?
That's a good question because it's like I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. You know, the food, street food in Iran that I kind of remember a little bit about, like the kebabi on the corner, but it had labu, like the guy with the labu, like that's like one of those childhood memories that still sticks out. Like that's the first thing. Like I get off the plane, I think that's the first thing I'm gonna go is go buy labu.
What does a free Iran look like to you?
A constitutional monarchy like Europe has, like European countries have. And the reason I say that, the monarchy has been in our history for a very long time. Look at Cyrus the Great. Our monarchy is part of our history, and I think it'll be there. But the power needs to be in our hands, in the people's hands, by voting members of parliament in and out, and a prime minister, just like England, I think Sweden, most of the European countries that have it. That's what a free Iran looks like to me. We have to keep our history alive, and the monarchy is part of our history. And that's what a future Iran looks like to me. And everybody, I don't care what religion you are, what race you are, which way you swing, everybody has to have rights. Everybody will have rights. Everybody will be able to vote. That's what I see.
So you know that one of the ways that we're going to hopefully overthrow this regime is by having the strongest force possible, both inside of Iran and outside. There's not much that we can do as far as inside of Iran. We're trying to amplify their voices. What can the diaspora do more to help take over this regime? What can we do better?
I think the more we share on social media, the more we make their voices heard in the government outside of Iran, whether it's protesting in front of the Capitol building, in front of the White House, Parliament in the European countries. That the more that we do, the more we come out, the more we make their voices heard. And the reason I say that is just personal experience. Up until recently, I had the Free Iran stickers on my car, and now that I've got like pens that I can write on my glass with, I prefer to do that because I can make it very personalized. I've had people come up to me and they're like, engage in conversation or tell me they know what's going on. And I'm not talking about Iranians. I'm talking random, strange, like American, white as white can get guy, which to me, that's great. When somebody like that engages me and asks what's going on or knows what's going on. And that's what we need to keep doing, is educating the people outside of Iran on what's going on, what they can even do to help. And it's like, write to congressmen, tell them, you don't want this government dealing with that government. Do that. So, and like I said, that's the best I think we can do is just keep being their voices, amplifying it, getting the message out to as many people as we can.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely agree. I feel like governments, when they really feel some backlash and some noise, they have to kind of pivot. But once they see that things are dying down, it's like a little gnat that's like in front of them. They just kind of smack them away. So we have to get stronger and louder and all that good stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, we're trying to do that, man. We're trying to do that with the Azadi Festival. We're trying to do it with Unite and Conquer. And with people like you, we're going to continue to go the right direction, brother.
I hope so. Like I said, I have a lot of hope. This is 10 months and I still haven't lost hope. And I hope people aren't losing hope and they're becoming more hopeful. You got to remember, there's still a flame under the ashes. The flame is going to light up again. The Crown Prince just put out his notice to let's start preparing for the next 3 months. That's within and outside of Iran. We need to prepare here to amplify their voices when they hit the streets again. We need to prepare to help with the strikes that are going to start coming, with People are going to need some sort of financial backing, and it is hard to get money into Iran, but there are ways to help those people who are shutting down their businesses, who are shutting down their stores, so that we can financially even help them out if needed in the next 3 months. It's
Right.
difficult, but it can be done. So I'm hopeful that in these next 3 months, with these new wave of protests, strikes, that we're heading in the right direction.
Yeah, and you know what? We're exactly 3 months away, or almost 3 months away, from the 1 year anniversary of Masa Jina Amini. And I feel like if we can keep things going for another month or so, once we're like 6 to 8 weeks out from that, I feel like there's going to be another global, fire being created, because Iranians are going to come back again. Some of the people who kind of went on the sidelines. Don't you think September 16th is going to be a big day?
It is going to be a big day, and you're right. When the last time people hit the streets, the protests here got bigger. People came out to amplify their voices. Every time Iran goes into kind of a lull, people here are like, I won't stop. I'll be there. Even if like 3 people show up, I'll still be out there with them. But every time it's on the upswing, more people come out and more voices get amplified. So, and like we said earlier, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. This is a marathon. We might be 3 months to a year away from this regime falling, but this regime will fall. And I was just sent something by someone, which is kind of creepy, but it's the poet who predicted the '79 revolution. And he's predicted that this is the year that this regime will fall. And part of that prediction actually spells out like all the atrocities and all the executions that are happening. And so it's kind of freaky, but that's...
Is this like an Iranian Nostradamus?
Yes, it is. I'll send you the link later. I had to have my mom read it, so you may need someone to read it for you.
Please do. I just send it directly to my mom.
So yeah, like it got sent to me, and I'm sitting there trying to read it, and then forgetting it's on IG, and I can hold it down and it won't go away. I'm like, this is going too fast. Mom, read this. But that, so yeah, and she's looking at me. I'm like, well, it's kind of creepy, because he just kind of like in his poem, he's talking about the executions. So this is creepy. So if this guy has been that accurate, like Nostradamus, this is the year that they will fall. So, fingers crossed that this guy was actually on point.
That would be great, man. I would want nothing more than for 2023 be the last year that we have to fight this regime. So
yeah,
from your mouth, or the poet's mouth, to God's ears, feel free to. Do you know the poet's name? There's somebody's asking. Do you happen to know the guy's name?
I'd have to look at it. I'll post it in my stories. So
yeah, please do. So for those of you who don't know Kamiar, follow his page. He always puts up interesting rants. I love his rants. They're very therapeutic. This was actually a great therapy session for me as well. I'm still going to do my rant in a minute when we get off here, but you definitely helped me simmer down a little bit. So thank you.
I mean,
who would have thought that
Kamiar
was going to calm me down?
There's another rant brewing. I know it is, because I've been going back and forth. I'm like, do I want to get on there? There's a rant brewing. There's one coming. But, I felt bad about doing one against Biden again, especially after he had no idea where he was the other day. It said, God save the Queen. I was like, I'm going to leave him alone today.
I saw that. He's a man.
So, but yeah, there's definitely one.
Come here. It was great. I'm glad we had a chance to catch up here. I look forward to seeing you in person.
Soon. I'll probably be in DC sooner or later. And if you're ever out this way, let me know.
Make it happen, man. Appreciate everything that you and the crew in Orange County is doing. Keep it going. Keep energized, and I hope that we get to go and have some labu and whatever type of meat that you want together in Tehran, man.
Same here, man. See you. Thanks.
Thanks again for being an ambassador. Appreciate you. All right, take care.
Bye.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you now just met my friend of more than 25 years. Crazy ass time. Kamiar. And if you're in California, hit him up. If you're in Orange County on a weekend and you have this urge to protest, hit him up. He'll lay out the red carpet for you. So if you joined earlier, I mentioned that I had a little rant to also, maybe this is just a night of rants, you know, that I wanted to kind of get off my chest. Before I do that, in case you don't know about July 3rd, Azadi Festival, after this little chat, go and click the link in my bio. If you're one of Kamiar's friends who were joining in and you don't know what we're talking about, it's a 12-hour festival happening just outside of DC in Tyson's. Ship Garden is the venue, holds a few thousand people, 12 hours of unity through culture while making sure that we continue to shine a spotlight on the revolution. We cannot be celebrating and not forgetting what's happening inside of Iran. So music, dance, food, poetry, children activities, all that good stuff will be there. But you can be damn straight that we're going to be having a lot of people every hour doing some kind of amplification of Voices of Iran, because that is our duty. That's our prerogative. And that's literally the main mission, is to bring us together through culture, but then making sure that we're all here to continue to be the voice of our people. So now on to the rant for anybody that's still sticking around and is interested. There's this, okay, so let me just kind of backtrack. For this festival, obviously, just like any other event, promotion is huge, right? And these amazing ambassadors, our allies, our vendors, our sponsors, these are all partners of an event that will basically utilize their network to spread awareness for the event. And every single ambassador and ally and vendor and sponsor and whoever else is a part of Azadi Festival, they're the ones that have been fighting for a free Iran for the past 10 months, at the very least. Every single one of them. Because yes, they love the cultural part, but really the main reason why they're getting behind it is because of the fact that we're here to continue to keep this fire of the revolution alive. And by now, if you've been awake and you've been aware and you've been active in the revolution for the last 10 months, you know who the hell has been truly fighting for this revolution nonstop, and who's been wishy-washy, who's been sitting on the sideline, who's done jack shit, okay? Unite and Conquer is an organization that pound for pound has fought as much as anybody else has, okay? Pound for pound. You're not gonna, we might not have 1 million followers, we might not have the most famous of names, okay? But pound for motherfucking pound, you're not gonna find another group that has worked as much as Unite and Conquer has for a free and secular Iran, okay? And it has operated under a company, my company, Unite and Conquer, an LLC, a proud LLC. I'm a proud entrepreneur, okay? I'm a proud business owner. And I started Unite and Conquer in 2019, and actually I'm so glad that Kamiar was here. He knows what I've been up to for the last 25 years, okay? But Unite and Conquer, I started in 2019 because I wanted to separate from my entertainment company, Exclusive Entertainment, and I felt that, you know what, there's enough of an amazing Iranian community that we can work on, that I would rather have everything be under one organization. That organization, Unite and Conquer. In 2019, I was not thinking about creating a nonprofit organization, nor do I believe in a nonprofit organization, because I've been an entrepreneur since I was 16 years old. I'm not a nonprofit organization creator. That's a whole different specimen. So I started Unite and Conquer because it was my prerogative. For 10 months, me and some incredible uniters, especially in South Florida, but there's been a few from around the country and even Canada. Shout out to Paris, shout out to Shiva, and shout out to anybody else that I'm missing outside of Florida, okay? Every single protest that you can imagine, we were all organizing in an area that does not have that many Iranians. Coming up with different initiatives and activities and art installations and doing whatever that we could to do something, either on air or on water or on land. Small and big, we did it all. We did it all. We did live streams. And there's not a single type of protest in the past 10 months that Unite and Conquer has not done. I'm not saying that everything was done perfectly, everything was done successfully, but it's about the effort. It was the effort, and it was about the collective effort. So here we are, fast forward to now, and there is a group of people, an organization, not even organization, It's just an Instagram page. I will not say the name because it's irrelevant. I'm just trying to kind of like, I'm trying to explain something big picture, because if this is the kind of shit that we're going to deal with, okay, like we're just tripping ourselves. And I don't want to have our own people. I will not allow actually our own people be the wrench in our wheel, at least not the Unite and Conquer wheel. You're not going to come and trip up the Unite and Conquer wheel. Let me just kind of make that very clear. You might piss me off, you might annoy me, you might lead me to rants like this, but you are not going to stop this locomotive, okay? And it's local because we're a little bit of loco and loca, okay? But that's okay, because I want the crazy people, I want the fucking misfits, I want the fucking people that are out here unapologetically themselves. So that's what the hell we are at Unite and Conquer, by the way. So in our effort to make sure that the Azadi Festival has as much backing, as much promotion, as much support as possible, we have been spreading our wings and trying to find other people that we've shared their content, that we've supported them, that we've been able to kind of like continue to like unite and conquer, right? Meaning like if I see that you're creating content, you're doing something that is like, that is truly like not supporting a movement leader, not being like monarchy, not being mujahideen, not being whatever, like you are just for the people. If you've been like that to me and other uniters and people involved with Unite and Conquer have been totally supportive of you. We've shared your content, even some of the content might not have been interesting, but we're like, hey, you know what? It's better to have something going on. So let's continue to support. So now one of those Instagram pages has decided that, oh, because we noticed that you're a prophet, you know, we have mixed feelings, and so, you know, we're not going to be able to support, you know, you. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? For 10 months, we've been ripping our shirts and asses, and you've witnessed it firsthand. How many people have been involved in solely being the voice of the people? I got a lot of shit in Florida as a divider because I did not want to be the voice of Hamid Ismailion. 8 months ago, I did not want to read out a statement for Hamid Ismailion. And I wouldn't have done it for Masih Alinejad. I would not have done it for Reza Pahlavi, who I've mentioned multiple times. I have a friendship with, I know them. So because I am not about a monarchy. I'm not about a Hamid Ismailion. I'm not about putting any single person up on a fucking pedestal. I want to put the entire Iranian people on the pedestal they deserve. That's what United and Conquer has been all about. So I've dealt with being called a divider even 7-8 months ago. And now a Chosmes Khan Instagram page is going to come and tell me that they're not going to share a promo video for Azadi Festival. Dude, that's a crock of shit. And all I'm saying is that if you are a part of an organization like that, for the love of God, man, get the hell out of that organization, because that organization is one to be worried about. That is an organization that has nothing going for them in the future because they have no idea what true unity is about. They're looking for excuses. They're looking for bullshit. They're looking for bullshit. They're not looking for a true unification with other freedom-loving people. Because I'm telling you, if after 10 months, you cannot look around on somebody's Instagram page and look at somebody's organization and not be able to tell what the fuck they've been doing for 10 months, then you don't deserve to be in this fight anyway. Just go ahead and just sit back down like you have the last 10 months, eat your fucking bonbons, and just consider yourself worthless in this goddamn revolution. Honestly, if you actually decide to come out under the rocks and do some shit, then do your due diligence, ask 10 people, and be like, hey, I'd like to actually now get involved. I feel bad that I've been worthless for the last 10 months, but all of a sudden I realized that, hey, you know what? I do care about my fucking fellow Iranians. I'd love to get more involved, and now let me educate myself. I would respect that. But don't be coming over here and start picking and choosing whoever the hell is cooler, whoever the cool clique or whatever. There's no fucking shit as cool clique, okay? Just look at somebody's fucking resume for the last 10 months, look at it briefly, do a little due diligence, ask a few people, and then you're going to find out that pound for pound, you cannot mess with Unite and Conquer. And you should join us. If you are ready to get back into the ring or just get into the ring, come. We will welcome you with open arms, because so long as all you're fighting for is a free and secular Iran, you're about to be welcomed by some of the most incredible human beings on earth. Not even Iranians, non-Iranians as well. Just a group of people that are giving their heart, they're giving their soul, because something has happened in their life in the last 30, 40, 50 years that they're like, we have to fight for our people. Because of their brothers, because of their sisters, because of their moms, their dads, their grandfathers, their aunts, their uncles. In some shape or form, their families have gone through incredible amounts of trauma and torture and heartbreak. And so they're saying the buck stops here. The buck stops here. So all I have to say at this point, I told you guys it's going to be a rant, and it's been a fucking rant. But I feel like I got it out of my way, and I have to dedicate it to my guest, Kamiar, to do a rant. But yeah, man, I mean, all I know is that the festival is 2 weeks away. We need more ambassadors. We need more allies. We need more sponsors. We need more vendors. We need more financial contributions. If we don't get these, Azadi Festival is just not going to be as great. I keep on saying that this festival will only be as successful as the community that is willing to support it. So don't just sit back, join us, message us. There's so many incredible people that are honestly here that will do whatever they can to welcome you, and you'll have some of the best friends / family for life. I know that because for the last 10 months, I now have the most amazing extended family of brothers and sisters. And this whole group right now that came through to help out with Azadi Festival, it's another 30, 40 amazing people. By the time it's all said and done and I go on stage on July 3rd, we're going to have over 100 ambassadors and allies, and that's 100 new family members that I'm honored to have next to me, that I will continue to fight next to beyond July 3rd until when? Until Iran is free. That's it. Rant is over. Link in bio. July 3rd. Wednesday. Countdown. Episode 25. Join us. Thank you for listening. I need a drink of water. And screw that fucking